G'day and welcome back to another episode of Tomo's Tune-Up, proudly sponsored by Minisport. On this episode, we are talking about the all-important camshaft bearings. Now, this is what goes between the camshaft and the cylinder block. It is important to make sure that you buy the right ones to suit the engine in which you're working on. If you're running an A series or an A+, whether it's a 850 or a 1275, they do run different bearings. As you can see here, this is the one that is furthermost from the front of the engine. So this is the one that goes on the side in which the oil pump is located. This is the next one that goes directly in the middle. And then we have the bigger one at the very end, which is where the camshaft sprocket goes. So let's start at the back of the engine in which this one goes. This is the camshaft bearing located, as I said before, on the back of the engine where the oil pump goes. Now in a 1275, both the middle and the rear camshaft bearings are exactly the same size. As you can see here, these are two different sizes. This is actually one out of a smaller bore engine, such as a 1098 or a 998. At 1275, these two bearings are the same width. That is important to note. Not only that, but they also have grooves and markings on them. The groove that is in the one that is closest to the oil pump needs to be fitted the correct way, because if it doesn't, it won't lubricate the camshaft and therefore it'll run dry, seize, and cause a catastrophe in your engine, which is the last thing you want after spending the amount of money you have on an engine such as this 1330. It's got a little notch cut out. I'll put up a photo on the screen in a second, and as you can see, it needs to go towards the bottom hole. That is important and a crucial part when fitting these. If you're unsure, talk to the guys at Minisport or even the engine builder and make sure that they fit them the right way. If you're still unsure, do some research online, get in contact with me or another engine specialist in which they can help you choose the right bearings to suit, whether they're the right ones or not that are fitted to the vehicle, and most importantly, the way in which it goes. So that only has one groove on the bottom of it. The next one is the middle one. As you can see, it has a hole directly in the middle. Now these holes are used to lubricate not only the camshaft, but also the main bearings as well. So it's important to make sure that these holes line up, especially in the middle of the camshaft. If a component is run dry, you're gonna have a really bad time fairly quickly. So once again, if you're unsure, hit them up at Minisport or speak to an engine builder who can align these holes with where they need to go. You do also need a special tool to do it, so if you don't have it, it's best not to attempt it unless you are going down the path of wanting to buy the tool and do it yourself. This is a fairly easy tool in which you can buy. Minisport unfortunately don't sell it, but any good engine shop will be able to do it for you, or alternatively, spend the extra money, generally a couple $100, and learn to do it yourself. There are a lot of videos out there in which I'll probably do one in the future. Now, the last bearing is the one that goes on the camshaft sprocket side. It actually has two holes. As you can see, it has a circular hole and a large ovaled hole. The ovaled hole must go towards the main bearing, which is where the crankshaft attaches to the block. If it goes in the wrong direction, it will pump oil directly to the cylinder head. Now, although that's not a bad thing, but if it directs the wrong amount of oil to the cylinder head, it'll actually cause the rocker cover to fill completely and sometimes even come out the breather. What actually happens is, because these are offset, if you have it in the wrong way, as I said, it'll pump oil directly to the head, which isn't bad, but it will cause issues down the track. Not only that, but also because this hole is offset, the smaller round one, this is the one that needs to go to the top. As the oil sloshes around inside the engine, it's actually getting caught inside the camshaft. The camshaft has a groove in it which is going to be picking up the oil every revolution. It's going to pick it up and it's going to move it around in a circular motion. Once it gets to the top, it is then oil fed up to the cylinder head. The next revolution is going to do the same thing. It's going to grab the oil and it's going to sling it to the top of the engine. It's important to make sure that these are fitted the right way, because as I said, if they don't, you'll create excessive amount of oil in the rocker cover and therefore potentially even creating problems with it breathing down the track, especially if there's a lot of movement going on inside there. There's a lot of lightened components, etc., etc. All the crankcase pressure's got to go somewhere, and if there's excessive oil there, guess where the oil's going to go? Out your rocker cover or even any other orifice. So like I said, make sure you fit these the correct way. If you're unsure, Minisport actually have a picture on their website. When you buy these bearings, it tells you which way to go. If you're going to be attempting this yourself, make sure you get in contact with someone, especially Minisport or even myself or another engine builder, and just confirm with them which way these go. As I said, it's not going to be the end of the world if you fit them incorrectly, but it is going to cause problems down the track. Best to get it right because you don't want to be pulling your engine out just to replace these bearings to put it all back together. There's a lot of work involved in getting this, and you want to make sure you do this right the first time. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode. Minisport do also have a bunch of merchandise. They have hats, they have shirts, they have stubby coolers. I think they even have pens as well. So if you want to help support local business, make sure to check them out at www.minisport.com.au. Have yourself a great evening, and I'll catch you on the next episode of Tomo's Tune-Ups.